Hello and welcome. This is the news on NTA International. We're live from nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Vivian Ezadifi, and my sign language interpreter is Anne Olainka. Let's bring you the highlights of the news. Federal government launches 3 policy documents tagged Digimbola 2.0 lets Nigerians see as world celebrates Sight Day. Health agencies move to address lack of drugs for Nigerians under health insurance initiative. Plus, Nigerian deposit instrument of ratification for African Union Convention on Cross-Border Cooperation. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Ola Olukayode to serve as the executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for a renewable term of 4 years in the first instance, pending Senate confirmation. Ola Olukayode is a lawyer with over 22 years of experience as a regulatory compliance consultant and specialist in fraud management and corporate intelligence. He has extensive experience in the operations of the EFCC, having previously served as Chief of Staff to the Executive Chairman in 2016 to 2018 and Secretary to the Commission in 2018 to 2023. A presidency statement says Olakoyode's appointment follows the resignation of the suspended executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa. Furthermore, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Muhammad Hassan Hamajoda to serve as the Secretary of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for a renewable term of 5 years in the first instance, pending Senate confirmation. Executive members of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, converged in Abuja to seek ways out of the quagmire in the Nigerian media space. Adebola Brookslin reports that the organization also conducted election for new chairman and vice chairman.
One after the other, media chief executives registered their presence to attend the 78th General Assembly and 22nd Annual Meeting of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria. The aim is to find options to what they called a quagmire state of the media space in Nigeria. BON's Executive Secretary Yemisi Bangboshe, who led the discussion, lamented that national and public interests are leading media organizations in Nigeria to extinction.
God forbids that television in Nigeria remain permanently stagnated from standard definition, while countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, US are advancing to higher definition and ultra-high definition.
But we've also seen its membership grow to over 1,000 members, with more than 400 inducted members.
Engaging in policy dialogue, the forum agreed is key to the actualization of the dreams and aspirations the media organizations seek for.
When a sector has a policy, things will fall in place because legislation will take a cue from there. Regulation will take a cue from there.
For the regulator, National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, the more the challenges, the higher the glory, which comes with surmounting it.
We believe that collaboration and constant engagement with stakeholders are critical to the repositioning of the industry to deliver on its mandate of contributing positively to the democratic and socio-economic development of our dear country, Nigeria.
Former NBC Director General Armstrong Idachaba is the keynote speaker.
2 planetary crises.
Minister of State for Environment Isiaq Salako solicited the support of journalists in tackling the effects of climate change. Minister of Information and National Orientation did not miss out on this event.
Starting point is that no matter how difficult it is imperative that you at least say it as it is. It may not be palatable, But I think when people come to know that this is what you stand for and this is what you do, trust will return, and that is what I intend to do.
Bond is also concerned and seeking assistance to make life better for media practitioners. Adebola Brookslin, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Director General and Chief Executive Officer of NTA, Saliu Abdulhamid Dambos, takes over as Chairman, Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria. He was elected at the Bond 78th General Assembly in Abuja.
I think from the vibrancy and also contributions that we have seen, members are ready to cooperate and work hand in hand so that we surmount and overcome the problems that we are facing. And I want to assure the members, of course, and Nigerians, that the broadcast organizations in this country will give them nothing but the best.
Congratulations to our DG for adding another feather to his cap. Moving on now, the Tunisian Ministry of Environment has organized a consultative workshop to discuss measures aimed at reducing plastic pollution in the country. The initiative is within the framework of the EU-funded Water and Environment Support West in the Ain Neighborhood South Region project. Charles Alpha has more.
Cooperation.
The West project is aimed at protecting the Mediterranean environment and manage the region's limited water resources more efficiently, focusing on pollution, prevention, and rational water management. The workshop, which brought together more than 50 participants comprising key stakeholders, was an opportunity to present the result of the West project in Tunisia regarding the fight against plastic pollution. Proposed measures to remove barriers to the enforcement of legislation on single-use plastic bags were at the core of the discussions, as well as a draft roadmap for the gradual reduction of some single-use plastic products.
Obviously, work continues on the MOU. We are also preparing the upcoming mission, cooperation with partners, works independently.
Representatives of ministries, public sector institutions, local groups, private sector, actors, associations, research institutions, donors, and financial institutions participated in this workshop. Constructive discussions took place on technical, financial, and social aspects, as well as on supporting the ecological transformation of the plastic industry in Tunisia. Charles Alpha.
Today is World Sight Day. It is a global event observed on the second Thursday of October. It was first observed by the Lion Club International Foundation in 2000 under the Sight First campaign. The main goal of the day is to bring awareness and attention to blindness, vision impairment, and eye health initiatives. The theme for the global celebration of the day is Love Your Eyes at Work. It aims to have vision screenings around the world, from factory floors and office buildings to staff rooms and studios. World Sight Day 2023 is about supporting employees and employers to prioritize eye health. Also, the campaign encourages workplaces to make eye health initiatives standard practice and promote eye health habits that will benefit the well-being, safety, and productivity of millions of employees. Joining us now in the studio is Dr. OB Rea, the Registrar CEO of the Optometrists and Dispensary Opticians Registration Board of Nigeria, to speak more on the World Sight Day. Okay, Doc, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you for having me.
Where are we as a nation in eye management, policy, and regulations, taking into cognizance the role of the organization?
Okay, thank you very much. In this country, we have a burden of eye care. Presently, statistics shows that we have about 1.3 million blind people in Nigeria, and a lot are still going blind. And that is why regulatory bodies like the Optometrists and Dispensing Optician Registration Board of Nigeria and all other eye care professionals and associations, the National Eye Health Program, are putting together a lot of activities to ensure that people have the opportunity to examine their eyes, have the opportunity to go to an eye clinic at least once a year to be able to ascertain the health of their eyes so that the blindness rate will be reduced in Nigeria.
The focus this year is on the importance of eye care in the workplace. How do you situate this in the Nigerian context? Okay,
this year, the International Agency for Blindness Prevention, the IAPB, brought out the theme, which is Love Your Eyes at Work. And it's actually to encourage employers to enable a work-free environment where people will not necessarily have issues that will make them go blind. And so we tend to ask organizations a couple of questions which they need to put in place. First of all, we want to ask employees to ensure that they have eye care plans. Do you have eye care plans for your staff? Do you ensure that your staff go to have their eyes examined at least once a year? Some people have this plan, but they don't make use of it. We also try to ensure that employees provide an adequate work environment for people to be able to work. So we want you to have good lighting in your place of work, and also the systems you're using to put in place good ergonomics in order to ensure that eye strain is reduced. You know, presently a lot of people work from home, a lot of people work in the office, and there's more increased use of the computer system, increased use of the phones and a lot of gadgets, and these things have a effect on their eyes. And so we're encouraging the employers to ensure that people are exposed to having regular eye examination and have the opportunity to visit an eye doctor and optometrist at least once in a year. We also try to tell employees at your place of work, what have you put in place to ensure if there's an emergency, the first respondent, that is the colleagues in the office, are able to do something before referring to an optometrist. So do you have a complete work eye first aid or an eye wash station, especially those in factories, those in production companies, construction companies, real estate companies, where you're exposed to dust, you're exposed to sunlight, you're exposed to chemicals that are hazardous to the eyes. So you must ensure that first aid is put in place at your place of work. And this is what we're trying to do at this year's World Sight Day, to encourage people to make the work environment friendly and to also encourage the Nigerian populace to ensure that they love their eyes even at work.
Okay. What is the organization doing to increase awareness on eye management?
Okay, we have a lot of things in place in order to increase awareness. There's a lot of events going on all over the Federation. Today we carried out work for a work awareness to enable people know the importance of vision and importance of good eye care. And also we offered free eye examinations at almost all eye clinics across the Federation today. And we are doing other events within the week. By Saturday, here in Abuja, we'll be having the Run to End Blindness, an initiative from our agency, the Optometrists and Dispensing Optician Registration Board of Nigeria. And right there at Jabi Lake Park, we're going to have over 500 doctors available to examine people for free. So if you're in Abuja or you find your way to Abuja, ensure you are there to participate and take advantage of this opportunity to have your eyes tested at least once a year.
Thank you, Dr. Obinna, for your insight into the World Sight Day.
Thank you.
You're watching the news on NTA International. We took a short break now. More news after this time out. Do stay. Glad to have you back. Nigerian joined in the celebration of World Sight Day with the launch of 3 policy documents tagged Jigibola 2.0 Let's Nigerian See. Basi Taitman reports that the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu was also honored as the Vision Champion of Nigeria.
World Sight Day is celebrated globally every second Thursday of October to create awareness about vision impairment and blindness and promote eye health messages not only to the public but also to decision makers and service providers.
Eyesight is one of our most important sense organs. 80% of what people perceive for learning, social interaction and productivity comes through the sense of sight. It is indeed the window to the body.
In Nigeria, 1.3 million people are blind, and 80% of these are from avoidable causes. These are not just numbers. They are our friends, our children, brothers, sisters, some are parents.
First Lady who was represented stressed the need to operationalize eye care policy for increased access to healthcare delivery. The Ministry of Health states, on its part, identified leading causes of blindness to include untreated cataracts and uncorrected refractive errors.
Jigibola 2.0, Let Nigeria See, is being launched today. Mr. President, as a testimony to the consistency to turn around the estimated 24 million Nigerians living with sight loss, which are very treatable, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and our development partners, we're heeding your call to let Nigeria see.
To promote effective eye care in Nigeria, 3 policy documents were launched: the Eye Health Strategy Plan 2024 to 2028, guidelines to promote screening and management, and kits. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
We have with us in the studio a consultant ophthalmologist, Dr. Godfrey Okolo John Paul from Telshu Eye Center.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. We have, Doctor, why do we need a special day to mark World Sight Day? Why do we need to pay special attention to eye issues at workplace?
Okay, well, thank you again for having me. We know the devastating effects, we know the suffering that the blind usually experiences, not just the blind individuals, but those that are their caregivers, you know. For one person to go blind in the family, we know the burden that it brings to other individuals of that family. So the World Sight Day is a day that has been set aside by the WHO and the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness. It's a day that is celebrated on the second Thursday of the month of October every year. This day has been set aside to draw the attention of the world to the devastating effects of blindness and those that have lost their vision and that have gone blind already. The day, like this year's theme, is particularly Love Your Eyes at Work. Why was this theme chosen? We know that in the workplace we have different hazards that occur at the workplaces. For instance, in the companies and at, for instance, the cement factories, even in companies where chemicals are made and manufactured. We know that individuals get these chemicals splashed into their eyes. At the cement factories, some individuals get the cement splashed in their eyes and they eventually come out and have these corneal scars and eye injuries, acid burns, even alkali burns and the rest. Then individuals also that, for instance, the iron welders who weld iron, they have some of these iron bits in their eyes. So the International Agency for Prevention of Blindness is trying to collaborate with owners of companies and employers of labor and trying to tell them that this time around we should take and prioritize the eye health of our staff. Those individuals that work in construction area, in construction companies, individuals that also work, in these places where I listed, should endeavor that they always protect their eyes. For instance, put on protective shields. And we are not just talking about those that work in companies. We're talking of individuals that work in corporate organizations. For instance, the bank staff. Every time they are always staring on computer screens. This is the era of gadgets, our phones, we have our tabs, we have our laptops. Individuals come complaining of dry eye, pain in the eye, redness, tearing, and all of that. So we encourage these individuals to try to present to an ophthalmologist, see an eye doctor, have your eyes checked, and you can complain of this symptom that you experience. When you see the eye doctor, the doctor will carry out examinations and probably recommend spectacles for you and screen you for other eye diseases such as cataract and glaucoma. If spectacles are recommended for you, then you should try to get them. It's documented fact that individuals who are able to enhance their vision actually enhance their workplace productivity by up to 22%. So we try to encourage Nigerians to have a good eye health seeking behavior. Thank you.
Okay, Nigeria now has a policy document on eye care known as Jigimbola 2.0. Let's Nigerians see. How far can this go to ensuring that Nigerians have access to quality eye care?
Yes, this document was actually established by the then Lagos State Governor, who is now the current President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then in the year 2001. And it was a program that was the policy, tried to establish a program that brought eye care, free eye screening, free surgeries to the rural areas, especially to Nigerians who were quite poor and could not have access to good eye care. Now, it was quite successful then, and that is what has necessitated even the re-establishment of this policy even in this year, especially together with the celebration of the World Sight Day. Now, this would ensure that Nigerians, wherever you are, whether you can afford it or not, can have access to good, affordable, and standardized world eye health care.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor, for coming to our studios.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to other issues now. To achieve universal health coverage, the National Health Insurance Authority and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, are collaborating towards addressing the lack of drugs for Nigerians under the NTAi. Haman Jabani reports.
The collaboration between the two government agencies is to ensure a sustainable access to affordable and quality medicines for Nigerians. The initiative is geared towards strengthening local pharmaceutical manufacturers, which will ultimately guarantee medicine security. 12 pharmaceutical companies will be branding 33 products from the health insurance ecosystem in the first phase that will cover 7 states that include Delta, Enugu, Gombe, Jigawa, Niger, Osun, Sokoto, and the FCT.
If we are able to negotiate the prices of these drugs, then we are assured that the cost of the drugs will come down. We are also assured that the availability of drugs will be guaranteed. And because we are working with NAFDAC, we are very much sure that the quality of the drugs that we will be seeing in the market will not be one that is being suspected as either fake or substandard.
As part of its post-marketing surveillance activities, NAFDAC will continue to monitor these products wherever they are in the country to ensure that the medicines are used exclusively in the nation's healthcare facilities for the purpose for which NHIA intended. They are not to be found on the shelves for sale.
The categories of medicines involved will start from simple to complex, which will be used to address prevailing conditions in Nigeria, such as malaria, upper respiratory tract infections, childhood illnesses, and drugs being used by pregnant women. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
Following the release of water from Lado Dam in Cameroon, the Anambra State government has directed the opening of camps in the state for the immediate evacuation of residents in flood-prone areas. The state deputy governor Gilbert Ibezim stated this when he paid a visit to management of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
Anambra State is one of the epicenters of flooding and erosion in southeastern Nigeria. 8 states are likely to be impacted by the recent release of water from Lagdo Dam, and Anambra State is prominent on the list of the states. That is why the state deputy governor is at NEMA's headquarters to seek for more support. He thanked the federal government and NEMA for the prompt assistance to flood victims and other related disasters in the state.
We've identified upland, and then the churches also have been working very well with us, providing their facilities. We help them to put them together and then quickly. These are the things we're doing in the interim. You don't wait for the midterm or the long, you need to act in an emergency way with you so that we'll save lives.
Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Habib Ahmed said NEMA has set machinery in motion to mitigate the likely impact occasioned by the release of water from Lagdo Dam.
I want to assure that NEMA is always ready to work with Anambra government to support disaster early warning dissemination, relief intervention and capacity building for Anambra SEMA.
The recent release of water from Lagdo Dam has prompted more states within the riverine areas to set up mitigation strategies to minimize danger. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Before we go, a quick look at weather prospects in Nigeria and other parts of the world for Friday. And that's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Vivian Izadifia. My sign language interpreter has been Anne Odla Yinka. Thanks for watching.